Hi, this is Optimus Primal, and this is Silverbolt's Transformer Review.
Morning everybody, it's Silverbolt here, back for a Transformers review. We're going to be doing, as per the title page, cassettebot Overkill. Overkill is, of course, one of Soundwave's minions, one of many minions, and his personality bio, very much depicts him as being the king of excess. Very violent, very prone to fits of rage, very prone to making sure that everybody's dead. Now, you might think in some regards, you know what, making sure your enemy is dead is a classic example of a Bond villain never following a plan through. And so many other villains never planning a plan through. That doesn't happen where Overkill's concerned. No, because Overkill makes sure everybody's dead. Mainly because he smashes them into so many pieces that, well, there wouldn't be a chance of them being alive. This does work against him as well, because he becomes so consumed with making sure that Autobot he's just stays into little Micromaster sized parts that, well, he tends to forget the rest of the battle plan. And then he gets left behind. So though he tends to talk a better game than he fights, he does have his uses. For one, he's a T-Rex, despite the silly little horn that a T-Rex noticeably does not have. So it makes him quite scary for a little cassette thing. Now, Overkill, in Series 3 of Transformers, Overkill is in it for all of, I don't know, about a second. Along with his partner Slugfest, Overkill is one of those ones that is ejected from Soundwave when they are called by the Primacron's assistant, and you don't see him again. That's about all he does. However, Overkill's storyline doesn't end there. In the Headmaster's manga, so that's the Japanese continuity of Generation 1. When the Decepticons leave Earth, Sound Blaster stays behind with his cassettes. Overkill is one of them, and they attack the Witwicky family and promptly get rescued by Daniel, which really doesn't give Overkill much credit. So, there we go. He also pops up again in the Devil's Due publishings, so the G.I. Joe crossover storyline, and he's part of Sergeant Noir's Decepticon forces. He keeps coming back in little bit parts. He doesn't show up in the Marvel continuity comics, so the Generation 1 proper comics, but he does pop around in the Timelines one and the Universe one. In the Universe one, in the Universe storyline, he gets a new body based on the Grimlock body, I believe, and so he actually becomes an actual threat, because then he's a giant T-Rex instead of a little bitty tiny one. So there we go. Overkill, when it comes to toys and little things that are made into them, it's quite easy to see where the repaints come from. It's a T-Rex. What else can we do with it? We'll repaint Overkill. So Classic Grimlock got a repaint, but that was very much an exclusive. That was very much it was BotCon 2007 that it was available for the colour scheme from Classic Grimlock into Generation 1 Overkill. And then it was redone again after BotCon 2007 into a proper redeco with much more accurate cassette bot colour schemes. And then, of course, you've had the, I believe it's iGear who produced the USB ones. That's supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex and looks like a turkey. Where we've had Grimlock repainted into that other well-known Decepticon Transformer, a dinosaur Tripticon, and then got repainted into Overkill. So yes, he's only really ever had one toy. And he was only available really in Japan. He didn't really come out in the US at all. So he does come like all the where's my camera gone? There it is. He does come with all the cassette bots with additional side parts that you just clip onto the side of it. In this case, it's the chrome missile launchers. Now then, overkill for the cassette does suffer from something that I feel plagues more than one. Though I do think, my personal opinion is that overkill is the worst example. Is side view T-Rex. Yeah, I can live with that. Narrow view, not so much. I think it does. I mean, you know what? It's a cassette. You know, it's a really, really clever toy idea. So there's not an awful lot that you can do with it. And it's definitely a case that this tends to be. It does suffer with more for the animal formers, the animal cassette bots, than it does for the humanoid ones like Rumble, Eject, Rewind, Frenzy. I think Ravage, the cassette version of Ravage, is very notable for it as well. In that, sorry, it's just gone a little bit darker outside. Ravage is very notable for it in that, yeah, side profile's not too bad. Front profile not very good. Overkill does stand up. He's also suicidal. But yes, you can make Overkill stand a lot easier than you can make Ravage stand. Yeah, Ravage doesn't like to stand up at all. You've got to kind of like lean him against somebody, kind of like, you know, he's rubbing their leg or something. Features an interesting point of articulation in that his mouth moves for a very Godzilla kind of job. Transforming him, obviously, you pull the two missile launched off his back, pushing his little diddly arms. Oh, they're so cute. Fold the head back, fold the tail in, and fold the legs in, and there you have it. And it's very obvious, you know, you can see that there's a head there very, very clearly. So Overkill's doesn't hide him as cleverly as, say, Ram Horns or Laserbeaks does. There we go. Okay, again, like with all the micro cassettes, it does come with the little, what appear to be little spools that you can yeah, there we go. The little gold bits there that are spools of a cassette tape. Because, of course, we all know in the Transformers land that things like cassettes and things like floppy disks are immensely capable of storing huge amounts of information. Okay? But other than that, there's not really an awful lot more I can say about Overkill, because, let's frankly put, he doesn't do an awful lot. But anyway, for now, this is Silverbolt with Overkill, signing off, saying au revoir, adios, auf Wiedersehen.